So, so as we flag that up, just come to standing, lift and roll the shoulders. And we'll start straight away with an aspect of arthritis and the hands. So just open the hands and just close them in and just flip them out. Flip them a couple of times. And then just shake them out. And then when you just get hold of your finger and just slightly pull it, you're creating a tiny gap between the joints. And that it is anti-stagnation, so you're just pulling and on the other side. And just rolling the wrists one way, and then rolling the wrists the other way. And then lift one foot and do the same with the foot, just roll the ankle one way. And as your heel lifts, you're spreading out your toes. And then rolling it the other way. And then again lifting the other ankle. And then hands on the waist, just opening the lungs, opening the heart, which is very important before anybody goes on a long journey. Just taking a breath. And then think of someone close to you. If you've got multiple people, just mentally think of that person and shrink them, make them smaller, and just have a mini version of them residing in your heart. If there's another person you want to add that person. And then when you've got whoever you want at your heart centre, as you breathe in and breathe out, sending them all your love and safety, protection. And you can do this every day, you can do this at any point of the day. You're just sending them your love. And then just release, done all you can. Drop the hands, lift and roll the shoulders again. And breathing out, stretch one arm up. Stretch it up again as you breathe in. And breathing out, just circle this down. Breathing in, the other arm comes up. Relax. So you breathe in, stretch it up again, and breathing out, just float the wrist down. Lift and roll the shoulders, and just bring your hands slightly behind you, just opening up your shoulders, and then just release. Bring the fingertips to the collarbone. Breathing in, hands out. Breathing out, hands back. A few more times. So anyone who's had breast cancer and they've recovered from surgery, this is a really safe beginner's movement to opening up that upper chest area. And get the energy flow. Starting to move into the shoulders as well. And then the next one, just have your fingertips there. Some people who've had surgery find it's too much for them, so you go back to the first one. But just begin to circle. You can put your hands more on your shoulders in one direction. And then circle in the opposite direction. And then opening your hands out, perhaps step a little bit apart. hugging yourself. Come forward and just go from side to side. And then standing up. Remember which arm is on top and try and remember to reverse it. Hugging yourself again. And then just release. Lift and roll the shoulders. And this is a breathwork exercise, breathing in. Palms down, breathing in, breathing out, and down. Breathing in, like water going in and out at a time. Palms down. And down. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Into the left. And out to the right. Into the left. And out to the right. Come back to the centre. Drop the chin to the chest. And come up to one side like a pendulum, and down back to chin to chest and up to the other side. Again, once more to each side. And then lift and roll the shoulders. And step the left foot forward. Right foot back and out to support you at a 45-degree angle. If your balance is off, just move your left foot out more to the left. And as you breathe in, soften the left knee. Modified warrior one, and breathing out as it happens. And again, breathing in. And then breathing in just to wherever it works for you. Lift and roll the shoulders and step the left foot back. Just sway from side to side. Ready, come to stillness and step the right foot forward, left foot out on the same side. So any warrior is meant to be strengthening the bones, osteoporosis, breathing in, soften the front like me, breathing out. Just do a couple more penalty for being to go, and then just and then lift to roll shoulders and step your left foot back, and again just sway from side to side. This very simple exercise is moving all the energies in the body, and it's also balancing the pelvis.
I love doing this.
You'll find it
You
in
really swing it. It's
Swing.
lovely.
Tai Chi, And in Tibetan heart yoga, the more exaggerated sway, where it goes almost around the shoulder, comes under the banner of mantra yoga, and it starts to come into like healing medicine and stuff a bit more. And also in Tibetan yoga, you've got the original of this, which is swirling round and round in one direction. But of course, doing that, you could fall over.
And I would be throwing my socks around.
So. And in Tai Chi, people are doing this about 25, 30, 35 times. They're not 40. You know, you almost get into like a meditative zone about it. I'm picking up the blind string and taking it with me. And let's start to slow down. It changes your perspective, so it doesn't matter what you brought in with you. It just subtly alters your perspective, and so it becomes a mindfulness exercise as well. So half salutes to the sun, hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees and circle the hands to where it works for you. Stretch, come down through the centre, hands onto the shins. As you half lift, breathing out, curl in. Half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften the knees and roll up to standing. Hands up. And just circle the wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees. So you stretch up. Arms through the centre. Onto the shins. Half lift. Breathing out. In. Breathing in. Half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. Then breathing in, soften the knees and roll up. Hands up. Just circle. Lift and roll the shoulders, hands together, and then come to a seated position, legs out in front of you. And just bounce your legs, rub your legs, pat them, whatever, just a dry skin brush. And just boosting circulation into the legs. And then just hands to either side. Yogically they'd be like that, but just relaxed. And getting the circulation into the feet. So when Ellen travels tomorrow, say to her that if she does this seated, it's very good for circulation. About 10 times for each exercise. Sorry, I'm squeaking. When I go to Forest Mere, there's a steam room there, and you sit down and squelches. Every time you get up, I was like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Some women squelch, and others don't. I think, why don't they really like those squelch?
You can tell your bottoms now, I suppose. They never do anything they're not supposed to.
Circle your ankles in one way. So she can do this.
She texted her another Jen. She was like, "Can you stop texting me?"
Yeah, you have to be a bit careful.
Dot,
don't
dot,
you?
dot. Mum. Yeah, I will, I'll text her.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know that.
And then circle the other way. You can do the same for hands as well. And circling. It gets the circulation going. Stop anti-DVT.
Socks. Something else already now.
Stretch your feet out. Well, do these instead. Stretch your feet out. And you can curl them over. Just beware of getting cramp when you curl your feet over. Just and stretching out. Simple fill. Really, £2,000. You could almost get a flight out to somewhere hot.
Turn the heating off here.
Turn the heating off.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Go just
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Lanzarote.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Makes sense, doesn't it?
it would. And then just lift the flesh out from under your bottom. And hug, let's just say one knee, doesn't matter which one you've gone for, in. Just lift the foot up and you'll feel your tummy muscles, your lower abdomen engage. And then put the foot on the ground, it can be slightly out. And just turn to look over that shoulder. And then just come back to the centre. Just hug the knee and come forward slightly. Stretching out, maybe a little back a little bit, not too much. Come back upright and release the leg back down to the ground. And then just hug the other knee in. Take it off the foot off the ground. It will engage your muscles if you sit up straight. And then place the foot on the ground. Sit up and turn to look over the other shoulder. Bend the knee. Come back to the centre. And then just lengthen the leg on the floor. Just have your feet in a slight V. And touch your hands just to lengthen the body. Feel that you're leading with your chest, and then just walk your hands down. They can be on the floor or on your legs. When you're comfortable, just release forward. It's helpful for the lower back. As long as you've not got a herniated disc, but I don't think we have. And opens the space between the vertebrae, calming for the nervous system. And then sliding the hands up. If you're able to come to a cross-leg position, please do. If you're not, then don't worry, just have your legs out. Hands to either side, tummy in. Slide one hand, your left hand out, right arm goes up, bent at the elbow. Just chuck your chin into your chest. You can come onto your elbow. That's available to you. And tummy in. Press down to bring yourself up. And the other hand slides out straight away. To the other side.
It's flexible on the side at all.
And one side's really the same as the other. Come back up again. And then just slightly come forward. And then hands down to come up and slightly come back. Look up. Come up, right. And then we're going to come down to the mat. Knees bent, feet hip width apart. Palms down. And just start by letting the head roll from side to side. And then let the knees join in, let the knees drop from one side to the other. I'm not going to mind whether the head and knees go in the same direction or the opposite direction. If you want it to be have more of a rotation, the head would go one way and the knees the other. If you want to go the same, that's absolutely fine. Your hips are lifting off the floor. Massaging your lower back, top of the sacral area, top of the bottom, back of the head. Your body is supported by the ground, and it starts to allow the bigger back muscles to relax. Because the body is not being asked to support itself, the skeleton is not being asked to support your body so much. And so just come to the centre. Make any adjustments for your feet that you like, and hug your left knee into the chest. Drop your hands to your left thigh, clasp your hands maybe, and raise the left leg up to the ceiling and extend the left heel. And you'll feel that all the way along the back of the leg. Point the toes and extend the heel. And then just circle the ankle a few times in one direction. And circle the ankle a few times in the opposite direction. And then start to walk the hands up the back of the leg. You might just go a few inches. You keep a bend in the knee. And you can either stay where you are, or if you want to engage your abdominal muscles, you can optionally drop a hand behind your head to support the head and neck as you lift your head up towards your leg. And then breathing out, release the head back down to the ground and hug the knee into the chest. And then just open the left knee to the left, rest the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Palms can be down on the abdomen, and just slightly rock both knees from side to side. You'll lift your hip slightly off the ground. So you're opening your inner groin, the lower lymphatic system, getting blood, anti-stagnation to the lower abdominal area, and quite good for the hip opening. Piriformis muscle on the outside of the leg. And then just hugging the left knee into the chest and place the left foot on the floor. Palms either down or on your abdomen as you rock your knees from side to side. You can rock right down or they can rock a little bit down. And then adjusting your left foot to where you feel comfortable to hug the right knee into the chest. And drop your hands underneath your right thigh, clasping them maybe, to be comfortable anyway, and raise your right leg to the ceiling and extend your right foot. Just point, flex your foot a couple of times, your heel. And circle the right ankle a couple of times in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then start to walk the hands up the back of the right leg. You can stay with your head on the ground. If you feel you want to take it a stage further, perhaps drop your right hand behind your head to support the head and neck as you lift up off the ground. And then just very gently lower your head back down to the ground. Hug your right knee into the chest. Open it to the right. Resting the right ankle onto the left thigh. Palms either on your abdomen or palms down, and just start to rock from side to side. Opening now the right thigh, right hip. It's interesting, Nikki's husband's had a hip replacement, and she said that even now, weeks later, months later even, post-surgery, he still can't do this, just absolutely can't do it. And then very gently hug the right knee into the chest. And then let the left knee join it, hug both knees into the chest, holding both knees with both hands, and just gently rock from side to side. You can really rock right over. And then rock over onto the other side. And then coming to the centre, we're looking at hips again. Knees are together, hugged into your chest. Knees stay together as you let both knees drift to arm's length. Heart release a little bit and circle them back to meet, hugging knees into the chest. And just do that a few times in this direction. And again, your circles can be a little bit or they can be a lot. You're putting your leg in the hip socket through its full rotational movement. And then hug your knees into your chest, heart them into a V, and then cycle them to meet at the top, so you're just reversing the circle. And then just still hold the knees, let both knees drift arm's length, and then hug both knees into the chest. I'll just do this a few times. And just very gently let the feet drift back onto the earth, maybe supporting under the thighs. Palms down, just some very gentle pelvic tilts, mobilising the spine, base again, so flattening the spine to the floor as if you're going to lift up your bottom, and then rolling in the opposite direction. So there's a little gap underneath your back. And then come to neutral and raise both arms above your head. They can be bent at the elbow, backs of the hands perhaps resting on the floor, don't worry if they're not there. And take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and stretch up your right arm. And perhaps just bring it slightly over to the left. Stretching out onto the arms. This is the upper lymphatic system. Bring your hands back to the centre and change over so that your right hand is holding your left wrist. Stretch the arm up and then just bring it slightly over towards the right. And then coming back to the centre. Stretch both hands up, they don't have to touch the ground, and breathing out. Lower the hands, hugging the knees back into the chest once more. And again, rocking from side to side. And then lower the left foot. Hug the right knee into the chest. And you don't have to hold the foot in Happy Baby, but you could just hold your calf, and it's a half Happy Baby. If you want to hold your foot into Happy Baby, then lovely, but if not, just hold anywhere just to get that outline of Happy Baby. Again, it's opening the hip, again, in a slightly different way. Taking in and out breath in. And then hug both knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Place the right foot on the floor for support. And then take your version of half Happy Baby on the left side. Whether you hold the foot on the outside, yoga from the inside, or hold anywhere on the leg, that's fine. If your muscles shorten all the way around here, that pulls everything down, and then you'll get people when they get older, they kind of come forward. It's like gravity pulls them down. So all these exercises just lengthen and just keep everything supple and moving, keeps your posture more intact. And then hugging the left knee into the chest, the right knee into the chest. And just once more freestyle, either knees away from you and hugging into the chest. Or if you want to keep your knees together and just circle both knees in one direction. And then the other direction. And then just supporting the legs to bring the feet back down to the ground. And we're just going to place our hands on our abdomen and be aware of our breath. So breathing in, the abdomen rises, and you can breathe out through your mouth, increasing your nitric oxide uptake. Just a few breaths. If you don't want to breathe out through your mouth, breathe out through your nose. Slowly the breath down. And then just take a colour that resonates with you today, and just imagine yourself wrapped in like a cool cotton wool candy floss with that colour. And the colour seals in everything positive and only allows positive things to float into you and blocks anything negative. So you're surrounded for the day by the light of your favourite colour, and it's permeating every part of you, inside and out, and affecting you on all levels, so physical, mental, emotional. And then you can let that thought go. Your protection for the day has been set in place. And then very gently start to hug your knees into your chest, and we're going to come in our own time to a seated position, comfortable seated position, so that can be cross-legged or legs out. Whatever works for you. And then just mentally focus here for a couple of breaths and imagine breathing in and out through the third eye. Just a couple of breaths, breathing in through the third eye. The energy comes in and just permeates around, dissolve anything, any stress or worries, and you breathe out through the third eye. And just a couple more breaths in your own time. Breathing in positivity, and put it into the out breath through the third eye again, anything that's not serving you today. And then just very gently come to bring your chin to your chest, bow, thought for yourself. Open your eyes if they were closed.